Hey guys, I'm here with David. We've been working together over the past few months in my one-to-one simple investing program. And David, I just wanted us to have a conversation so others could hear more about your experience directly from you.
Well, many years ago, when I was starting my working history, I really had no idea about finances. Last year at 62, I decided, I wanted to look into my retirement, and really, I wish I'd have done that many years ahead of that because as I began to look into it, I recognized quickly that I had no idea what what to do. My wife and I had always lived within our means, and we had done a really good job, I feel like, of saving money, but it was all in cash. It was in CDs or mutual funds or, our savings accounts.
So, what felt confusing or unclear about your situation before we started talking?
Well, there are just so many options. I have a lot of friends who would encourage me to just get you a financial advisor. They'll take care of everything for you. Well, I did. I reached out to two or three financial advisors and spoke with them for a while. And I quickly recognized that each of them were suggesting that they would take control of pretty much all of my money, and they would be investing it, and they would send me whatever I needed or whatever I told them I needed to live off of each month. And then they told me what they would charge me to do that. And as I thought about it, that I really was, I just couldn't, the math didn't work for me. I could not figure out why I would spend that kind of money to have someone have control of my money that I'd
Yeah.
worked for all my life, and then me have no understanding of what they were doing with it, other than they're investing it. And I just felt like that was scary. It really was. And then the fees were scary. I mean, as if you think about over a 10 or 20-year period, that's a lot of money that they're getting that I could keep myself.
Tell me a little bit about where your head was at when it came to retirement when we first started talking.
Well, I wanted to retire, yes, but I didn't feel comfortable doing it at that moment because I always felt like I had the money. I just didn't know what to do with the money. You know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
that was the main thing that I didn't know what to do. I needed to find confidence in my plan, confidence in what I was going to be doing. I needed to know that once I started retiring, that I could, live the life I wanted to in retirement and not worry about running out of money or worry about doing things wrong and losing what I had saved up. So,
Yeah.
and honestly, I ran across a couple of your videos. Your message was consistent,
Yeah.
and that was that it was simple.
Yeah.
You kept bringing that out, and that you didn't need a financial advisor. That continued to catch my attention, and that I could do this myself.
And so talk to me a little bit about what hesitations you had that you had to process and work through before we signed up together.
Yeah, well, honestly, I was concerned about whether your ideas or your recommendations would fit my situation. I sent you an email with a series of questions, and I was looking for an in or an out at that point. But I felt like that you responded to those emails with very thoughtful answers. And honestly, at the time, I felt like it fit my situation, and that gave me confidence to go ahead and call you and get set up and get started. Yeah, relationships have always been very important to me, and I feel like I can tell if a person genuinely cares or not after speaking to them a bit. And again, I just loved your personality. I loved the way that you presented yourself and presented the information that you was providing to me, and I felt comfortable. And that drawed me to you,
Yeah.
and I felt trust. And so I've never lost that through this entire process.
Good.
I've enjoyed myself
I'm glad to hear that.
thoroughly.
Good.
Yeah.
What would you say are some of the things that stood out for you the most in terms of the experience of us working together so far?
Well, the structure of the course, for
Yeah.
one, the bite size pieces each week. Again, it's not overwhelming. We learn as we go. Each week, I feel like I uh, I would do a part of structuring my finances. Opening accounts, moving money,
Yeah.
starting to do those kinds of things. And as when I look back, I've done quite a bit of the things I was afraid to do to start with.
Yeah. So you want to talk a little bit about that big realization and what you've done, what you've announced?
I have notified my employer that I will be retiring May 1st. So it's only a week or two away.
Love that.
And because it just hit me that there's no reason that I need to be working.
Yeah.
So
Tell me how you feel about the idea of putting your money into the stock market and investing it. How you feel about that now versus how you felt about it before we got started.
I love the idea of setting up these buckets that, that we now can live freely and enjoy our retirement and go out and do things that we enjoy doing that we haven't done only because we were afraid to spend down and not be able to do those things. Well, now I have the confidence that we can and that we need to. So at the end of the day, I don't feel like I'm risking all of my money.
Yeah.
And then two, in the type of investments that we're talking about putting it in, I still don't feel that way. I mean, because the money that I really don't need today or don't feel like I'm going to need in the next few years will be what's working and growing, while the money I can use today is available to me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it just makes sense now.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is what I was looking for.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank God I found it. I found you because you're the one that's provided this for me.
There's something else that I think was an important part of this process. Your wife is not doing this with you. She doesn't want to have anything to do with managing money. And so an important part of what we're doing together is building something that's so simple that when the time comes, if she ever needed to take over, she'll have no trouble picking up the system and moving it forward. Tell me a little bit about
And
that.
I'm so glad you mentioned her because I've noticed over the last few weeks that she started leaning forward, listening a little closer as me and you would have our meetings. She started asking better questions afterwards, and she's starting to catch on. And then through that process, she's starting to see where the money's going, what it's going to be doing. She's asking good questions. She's starting to feel more comfortable with it. So things couldn't be better on that side either.
So that's
That's
interesting.
getting better.
When you started, it was she didn't want to be a part of this. It wasn't that she couldn't, she chose not to be. But from your
Yeah.
conversations behind the scenes, and now she's eavesdropping a little bit, all of a sudden
Yeah.
she's like, oh, I can do this. I understand this.
Yeah. And she's seeing how easy it is.
Yeah.
It's really nothing I've done so far has been very complicated. It's all been relatively easy.
Yeah.
And she's asking really good questions now. She's starting to understand, and now she's starting to plan with us being retired. And before, she was scared to death of the idea that I wasn't going to be working, that I was giving up this good job, to be retired. So
And that was one of your
her mind,
hesitations about retiring, right? Was her hesitations. Next mission with her is to encourage her to let you spend more money in retirement because you can
yes.
afford to spend a lot more. So at least maybe spend a little more and enjoy your retirement.
Yeah, and she's starting to talk about those things as
I
well.
love it. Beautiful.
Yeah, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much that you offer this to us and that you're willing to teach people like me this stuff, because it's really been life changing for me here at a point in my life when I'm ready to retire. And now, thinking back just to several months ago, I was so worried and nervous about this.
Yeah.
And now I'm confident, excited, happy, relieved, and all the great adjectives that come along with learning something. And I enjoy to learn. So
Yeah.
I've learned a lot, and I still am. And I'm thankful and appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you.
I appreciate it. I love hearing that. So thanks very much.